Hi, this is Loving All of Me, and I would like to say this before I start the video. Listen, this is my journey, and I hope that this helps anybody that is trying to stop smoking, okay? It's not going to be easy, but you got to say to yourself, you got the willpower, all right? But I'm going to tell y'all my story, and hopefully this story will help you. If you like this content, make sure you subscribe to my channel. So this is going to be a story on how I stopped smoking. And I will say this, everybody's situation is different. Everything that happens in my life, it could be either good or bad. I'm going to learn from it. There are certain things that I've learned from, and it doesn't require me to get hurt, okay? And then there are things that in order for me to really learn, I have to go through the heartbreak in order to realize it. When it comes to smoking, it was this guy that I really, really, really liked. And he didn't like me. And I was just like, I was stuck because first and foremost, who don't like me? You know what I'm saying? This is what I'm thinking at the time. Like, how could he diss me? And we were only talking for about a month, the most. And I can honestly say now that I'm older, it was fully calculated. He knew when he was going to start talking to me, and he knew when he was going to stop, because it was exactly a month. And that's when he started acting like really funny. And I would say this, when you're not healed as a person, you will be surprised once you heal the things that you realize and why it's so important to heal. And every situation in the healing process is a lesson for you to learn, because if I was healed, what I'm getting ready to tell y'all probably never would have happened. So just to give you guys a backstory when it comes to my smoking, I never was peer pressured. Smoking was something that I just wanted to do. Like, my friends, they were smoking, and I was like, okay, let me hit the joint. Like, nobody never said, Ashley, you got to do this. If you don't do this, then we're not going to hang around you. It was never the case. I knew what I wanted to do. Okay. And I smoked almost, I think it was probably like 10 to 12 years. I don't know the exact years, but I started smoking when I was in college. So when I came back home, of course, I had my daughter now. I was staying by myself, and I would smoke almost like 4 to 5 blunts a day. And I had got to this point where I just wanted to know how it felt to not smoke one night. If I can just not smoke for one night, that'll make it where I can just, kickstart everything. Y'all, at the moment, like when I was smoking, I was literally just trying to see what I can do to stop smoking. I had called the 1-800 number. You know how every state has the stop smoking campaign. So I was calling those numbers. I remember they sent the nicotine patch to my house. And of course I wasn't smoking nicotine at the time, but I remember putting on the patch. And when I put on the patch, it just made me feel like I didn't need to smoke nicotine. It gave me this feeling of not to smoke, but I stopped taking the patch and I just continued to smoke. So all I can remember at the time is I wanted to just be able to not smoke, just be able to say and to do this one thing, which was go one night without smoking. So when I was really liking this guy, and I realized he wasn't liking me like that, at that moment, I felt like, damn, maybe one of the reasons he don't like me is because I smell like smoke, and which I later found out that wasn't the case, because after the whole month went by and he was still trying to reach out to me for other reasons, y'all know what I'm talking about, then I began to realize it wasn't just the smoking. He just didn't like me. You know what I'm saying? But he would say things like after the fact, oh, if you want to, you can smoke at my house, like stuff like that. But I really felt like, damn, maybe he didn't like me because I was smoking. I just began to start looking at myself like, damn, maybe he didn't like me because of this. Maybe he didn't like me because of that. And that's why I say it's so important to heal, as well as when you're going through the healing process, the things that you learn in that time frame is what's going to help you with life. And y'all, I was able to go one night without smoking, and that set the tone for me. And another thing, what really made me stop smoking, y'all, this is what did it. Because I was smoking so much, I was so used to buying swishers and breaking the swisher down and thinking that I was trying to be as neat as possible with, you know, after I break the swisher down and you have the residue of the swisher, I'm just thinking I'm throwing everything away neatly. Your kids notice everything. I can say that. No matter how neat I was trying to be, my daughter be like, Mom, you smoking? You smoking? Because she can see where I would throw everything in the trash. And it was one night. This was the night that I did not smoke. And I was able to say, you know, I was able to do what I said I wanted to do. And she said, I said to my daughter, I said, I didn't smoke tonight. And she said, good job. And when she said that, I never smoked again. She gave me the inspiration where I knew right then and there, the way she said good job, she was proud of me. And when I say like the residue, my daughter never saw me smoke a joint. Like I'm not sitting in the room with her smoking a joint. I'm not sitting in the house burning a joint everywhere I go. No, it wasn't that. What I would do is I would literally smoke in my bathroom at a certain time at night and she would smell it, you know. So I personally feel like, of course, yeah, I could have went about it differently. I could have waited until I went outside to smoke. I could have waited until she went to sleep. I could have waited until I hung out with my friends. But a lot of times, for me, well, I know for a fact my home is it's my comfort zone. Okay? And, you know, I was comfortable. And when she said good job, y'all, it made my heart smile. And I don't know how many years it's been now that I haven't smoked. I really don't remember, because a lot of times when you stop doing something that you wanted to do for so long, at first you keep tabs on how long it's been, but then after a while you just totally forget. So I don't know, like if I was to actually go back and research and like do my due diligence, I would find out probably around the year, but I really don't know the exact time or any of that. But I know it's been years, not 2 years, but it's been years. So I thank God for that. I thank God for my child. I even thank God for the person that I liked at the time who didn't like me, because that was a part of my journey. But I want to tell y'all some of the things that I stopped doing and some of the things that I did once I stopped smoking, which you guys know I stopped smoking. So the first thing that I did was I realized once I stopped smoking that I wanted to smell good. It was like out of nowhere, where I had about like a couple of body oils and everything like that. Once I stopped smoking, I started buying all of this smell good stuff. Like if I was to go in my bathroom, I'll show you the different perfumes I have now. It's like I automatically wanted to smell good. And it's just it's such a beautiful feeling to take a shower and not trying to put on all this spray. So that way I'm trying to make it where people don't smell the smoke. People still smell it. So once I stopped smoking, I automatically wanted to smell good. Now, this is the thing too. Once I stopped smoking, my appetite, it increased. And I have to keep it a buck. I did gain weight. But I also have to be completely transparent. My appetite went up, but I gained weight because of my fucking self. I'm seeing stuff that I want, and I'm like, damn, that red velvet cake look good. I'm going to go for it. Versus when I was smoking, I think a lot of times when I did smoke, I probably would eat whatever, but at the same time, I think I was more like, I wasn't eating as much. Versus once I stopped smoking, I began to eat as much. And then I started to make a little bit more money. So then if I see something, I just went for it. Like literally a kid in the candy store. So like I say, that's my fault. I can never sit back and just say, oh, because I stopped smoking, I gained weight and it was because of that. Nah. I stopped smoking. My appetite went up. And I played a role in me gaining weight. Get that? All right. Another thing that I realized is that once I stopped smoking, I no longer had to see swishers and all that shit in my house. Like, I would put it inside of the bathroom. And I'll say this, shout out to anybody that has kids. And if you are doing something, you know how to not make it visible. Okay? I notice when you get comfortable with anything, you tend to, and some people are different. Like I say, shout out to the people that when you're doing something, you make sure you do it somewhere and it's your personal space. Nobody sees it. You know, so I would say that. Just shout out to y'all. Because for me, my house is my comfort zone, like I said before, which if I could have did it any differently, I wouldn't have had any swishers in my bathroom. I had, at the time, one bathroom. So if I got one bathroom, I still could have been smarter. I still could have took the swishers, threw it in the bag, tied it up, and threw it in the big bag versus the bathroom trash can. You see what I'm saying? So I noticed that once I stopped smoking, I wasn't as careless. You know what I'm saying? Oh, it's all good. This is my house. I can just put the swisher stuff in the bathroom bag. So it wasn't there anymore. Another thing that I realized, I used to have so many things set up for me smoking. Like now I have lighters inside of the bathroom, but my lighters are only used to light incense. Like, that's it. I can keep a lighter in my house and not think, let me go get a swisher. Another thing that I realized, that when I was smoking, I didn't give a damn what time I left out to go and get a joint. And when I say a joint, meaning Swisher Sweet or buy some weed. Okay? If I was high, not if I was high, but once I was no longer high and I wanted to get high again, I didn't give a damn. It could have been 11:30 at night. It could have been at 12. If I had some weed in the house and I want to smoke a joint, I'm going to go and get me some Swishers. You know, because I was more focused on smoking. And, you know, now that I don't smoke, it feels so good. Like, I don't want to be around smoking. I can remember years ago, I used to smoke Black and Milds, and it's like, it's something about the tobacco. Oh my God, it just does something for me that just make me be like, yuck. Like, I don't want to be around it. Now, I will say when it comes to weed, I don't want to be around weed as well. But I do notice, because I used to smoke weed, let's just say if I'm walking somewhere, because in Florida and in a lot of places in the world now, weed is legalized. Florida is legalized only medical. Okay? So there'll be times where I'll be walking and it'll be somebody that passed me that's smoking weed, and I'll be like, damn, you know what I'm saying? Whatever that is, that person getting fucked up. But I never think about smoking that. Never. So, in conclusion, just speaking on this video, I really hope this video really helps anybody that is trying to stop smoking. I am being completely transparent about it. And it really made me think about life, you know, for me. And like I say, a lot of times things don't have to hurt me. Like, I can literally walk down the street, see a dog running, and realize, damn, I shouldn't have did that. You know, I should have walked with a stick. You know, every situation in my life doesn't involve me getting hurt to learn something. But when it concerns certain things, that is one of the reasons why I stopped smoking, because I was really into this fucking guy and he didn't even like me. And then I realized, like, he ain't even about shit. Like, what was I even thinking? That's how it usually goes anyway. But I do thank God for him. I thank God for my daughter, most importantly, because it's something about our kids that just give us inspiration and make us look at life differently. So with that being said, you guys, I hope y'all have a good day. And I hope this story really helps someone change their life for the better and realize the benefits of not smoking, okay? Because there are a lot of benefits. Oh, and I'm going to say this one more thing. When you stop smoking, there are going to be a lot of other things that your body is going to want to do. And I don't mean to say like on a level of trying to get high, but you got to make sure you don't increase your alcohol usage. Now, one of the reasons that I did smoke is with smoking, I knew where I was at all times. With alcohol, you don't never know what you're going to get. You can drink a whole bottle before you know it, you're in somebody's house. So you want to make sure, and this is for people who are trying to stop smoking, is once you stop smoking, you're going to have to pick up another habit. So the best thing to do is pick up a positive one. And if you are drinking, you don't want to increase your drinking because you're no longer smoking. So have a good day, you guys. Talk to y'all later.